What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is TSM Player. In the top of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Zodiac. The map is Tundra, and it's currently 1-0 for TSM Player in this best of 3 for the Age of Mythology Spring Tournament. Hosted by DoD Shelty. Very exciting first game. Zodiac fell behind and almost made a crazy comeback with some villager Ancestors Eclipse play. Double attacks, killing a bunch of town centers, and it almost worked for him. So we'll see if this god change, because he's going from Isis into Set, will help him at all. Having to take down a TSM Player is no easy task at all, so we'll see if Set can help him out. A lot of people have been complaining about Set's strength over the past couple of months, saying that Shifting Sands is way too strong and you can get way too much out of it for not very much resources. So we'll see if Zodiac can use that to his advantage this game, or if TSM Player has anything he can do to defend against it. We definitely do see the metagame shifting towards everyone advancing really fast in order to defend against the shift. So a lot of people have been advancing at about 4 minutes into the game instead of 4:30 or 5 minutes, just in order to defend. So it does give Set a lot of threat without having to do too much. For example, Set can simply not do any Shifting Sands aggression early and go for something else, and come out with an advantage just because of the threat of an early Shifting Sands. But then again, you can simply just do that yourself and you're fine. There's lots of different options with that Shifting Sands. For example, you can steal Goat, you can shift onto your enemy village's wood line or gold line with Priest, Wadjet, Pharaoh, and animals, and get a lot of free kills that way. It does mean that when they do that kind of play, though, it does mean that they're going to be sacrificing economy because their Pharaoh is no longer empowering, and it actually can amount to a lot of resources lost, and sometimes you can feel like you're further behind than you are. So we'll see what happens there. But Zodiac looking like he is definitely going for that early advance time. No villagers on the wood is a giveaway. So the standard Set play before these early Shifting Sands aggressions was 5 villagers food, 1 villager house and monument, 3 villagers gold, 2 villagers wood, and then 5 villagers food, and the rest gold until you advance. But Zodiac going for the super fast advance time, getting 3 villagers onto this temple, get that one up, cancel all of these villagers from being built, and then you should be advancing at the 3-minute mark and then going to the next age, which looks like that's what he's going to be going for here. Oh, he did decide to build an extra villager, so going to be a little bit later there. Should not be an issue. And when you put a bunch of villagers onto gold, you make that attack, get the second town center. It's really, really nice. So if you jump over to TSM Player's perspective, casting Bolt onto that Priest is kind of a big deal. It means that he can't attack that easily. It means Zodiac has to build a couple of priests in order to get this out, which does delay his town center. So that's actually kind of a very big deal, and we do see that Hermes is coming through as well. Now, Zeus is one of those gods where you can really come away with a lot just because you have Hermes. So this early attack, you can cast your Ceasefire, get your second town center up while the attack's going on, because you cast that Ceasefire, and be completely fine while your opponent, basically you're trading Ceasefire for Shifting Sands, which I think is a good idea, but it does mean that your opponent then has access to use Ancestors without any real fear of it being blocked. So we'll see what Zodiac's going to be doing here, going through Tar. TSM play going through Hermes. It's actually rather close. I thought that Zodiac was going to be faster than this. He is moving Priest forward, so he's going to be looking for something here. There are villagers gathering from resources in this location, but it does look like these guys have no idea. Can cast, there we go, casting the vision. Is he going to shift Goat, or is he going to jump? He's going to jump right onto this. And you can see we've only got 1 Priest here instead of the 2, and it does look like all of these villagers are going to get away without dying. That was really nice placement there, and we can see what what TSM player did was he made his storehouse right next to this sentry tower. And he's got the centaur coming out, and TSM player is going to be grabbing his Odysseus first in order to pick off the Wadjet and pick off the Pharaoh. He's moving villagers away from this gold mine, and it looks like he's also chopping down straggler trees. He has this Odysseus out, going to be attempting to chase down that Wadjet, and that's going to make Zodiac have to get out of there. TSM player's already got 290 gold, and needs to get another 10 gold in order to get to that second town center, and we don't see a second town center coming up for Zodiac just yet. Is he going to be going straight to the next age? And it does look like the centaur is going to come in. There is a priest here with that Pygmalions statue there, which is going to mean that his villagers are going to be able to survive for even more shots than they normally would. Going to dump that one in, but it does look like the centaur is going to be able to pick off one villager for free there. We do have these units moving over here to try and prevent TSM player from getting this town center, but having these two heroes is going to be more than enough to pick off this army. You do want to get that Pharaoh to be targeted from the villages and the Odysseus, kill off these animals with those villages there, and this is going to be totally fine. Nice micro here from TSM player, going to pick off all of these guys nice and fast, get that town center going, and it does look like villagers are going to move over here, and the priests have defended a little bit. There is still the Wadjet on this gold mine though, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue there for TSM player to deal with, as he's still sending his he's still sending his heroes to chase down these priests, and the Wadjet's going to have to get out of there for no real reason. It looks like the centaur was picked off somewhere. I must have missed that one, because he could have used that centaur to pick off the Wadjet there and defend this location, but it looks like instead of keeping the harass up, Zodiac's going to be just leaving there. He could have kept that one up while these heroes are chasing, and we are going to be seeing the Pharaoh going to be trying to get this town center up, and it looks like Odysseus is going to be here. This is actually enough to pick off this Odysseus. Definitely could just get the town center up, or get the Pharaoh to be targeting down the Odysseus, and there's not really that many other units, and it does look like he's going to be attempting to pick off this low HP priest, but you can just micro that guy back and he should be fine. But it looks like, there we go, that's going to happen. Town center is going to get up. TSM player is going to have his own town center up, 6 minutes and 50-second mark, so it's a little bit late, and he's going to start getting those stables and archery ranges down. And now TSM player is in a great position here. He's still got access to ceasefire, so ancestors is not going to be an issue, and he's got those two town centers up without losing any villages, which is huge considering the amount of resources Zodiac invested into killing him. However, Zodiac hasn't had that much harass under his own villages. He's lost one, but those villages were gathering for the most part, whereas a TSM player was not gathering for the most part because of that harassment. It meant his villagers had to go over to this tower, back over to this town center, over to these straggler trees, and then back. So there's a lot of walking time, a lot of resources missed out on. So Zodiac probably not actually behind in this situation, probably still in a decent enough situation economically. Also, he didn't actually lose any priests or Pharaoh in that engagement either, so he still has that gold from those. We do see the Odysseus moving in here. This is actually not protected at all. With only the Wadjet here, this Odysseus is more than enough to pick that Wadjet off, and he is actually going to get him as the Wadjet's running away, and then these laborers are going to start taking some pain. There's no real military units here for Zodiac, and Zodiac's going to have to run away with these villagers back into the base. There are some goat in here for him to use, which is going to be nice, so he's going to be able to do that. And it does look like TSM player going for the third town center straight away, not building any of those military units, and that's going to be really good for him. He's going to be able to boom super fast. Zodiac should notice this as his scores now kind of caught up, and potentially he could go for his own third town center, but he's not going to be doing that. He's only got 9 villagers on the gold, and he's spending all of those resources on spearmen, and he's getting that army up, so it looks like he wants to go to that next age. We are seeing Jason still moving around, doing as much harass as possible. It's amazing what you can do with 2 heroes as Greek when your opponents go for that 2 town center play, because they're spending all their resources basically on villages here. So these 2 heroes do quite a lot. We are seeing the priest and the spearman going to be able to move in here, and that's going to be enough to make these units run away. These guys are not going to be able to really do all that much damage to them, but they're going to try, and it does look like they're going to get a couple of free hits, but he should get away with his life. Third town center now up for TSM players. Zodiac is opting to go for the fast tech. I would actually love to see Zodiac go for a fast mythic off this. Not grab his his third town center, and not really build any more military units. Just go to the heroic age, go to the mythic age through Horus, and then cast that tornado and pick off a bunch of villages and a town center or something with ancestors, potentially shifting sands onto one of the town centers as well. There is still access to Hermes though, so I guess that's not a good option at all. So take that back. He has to actually somehow force a ceasefire out for that to happen, which isn't going to happen. And we are seeing that TSM player is going to move in here, and there are more than enough units to pick off these guys here. So nice micro here from TSM player, but he really should not. Ooh, looks like he's actually managing to pick off quite a few of these spearmen with those Toxotes and the Odysseus. So that's going to force Zodiac back, and now Zodiac should be going to that heroic age fairly soon. He does have the armory up and he does have the resources, but he's not clicked it. Just needs to cancel one of those guys who he doesn't have. I thought he built the armory over here. Oh, but it was cancelled. Okay, it was cancelled. So no armory. So it's going to be a little bit late. Villagers getting picked off here, getting caught out here. This is going to be huge. It's going to be a bunch of kills here for Zodiac. TSM player getting a little bit antsy trying to go for this location, but it does look like for some reason only not even one villager was picked off. There's so many low HP units here. That's super unfortunate there. Having spearmen, those villagers just walk straight through, and TSM player gets out with a lot of with like no deaths there at all, which is really, really nice for him. Going to be moving forward, potentially grabbing these elk or this location here. That's going to be really hard for Zodiac to hit, and TSM player is going to keep getting further and further along in this game. He's kind of population block, needs to get those houses pumping out, and he is getting them down with a bunch of villagers here. And he's going to keep getting that economy rolling. Jumping back over to Zodiac's position, he's still not advanced to the next age. This is not what you want to see. 2 town centers versus 3 town centers. Building military units instead of advancing is always going to be a difficult thing there. So it's going to be hard. We are seeing TSM player trying to move in onto this gold mine. There's gold mines back here you could be using, which are very hard to attack. I don't understand why these. Maybe he's going to use these villages to fight or something like that, like last game. But it does look like Zodiac is trying to fight here. He's got the spearmen coming out and the slingers. Spearmen can focus fire those toxotes and pick them off really, really fast. And it does look like that fight going heavily in the favor of Zodiac there, and player's going to have to get out of there and rethink his decisions. It looks like player's actually going to be able to get to the next age before Zodiac at this point. He doesn't have his armory up just yet. Zodiac does have his armory up, and he is population blocked. Unfortunately, these 2 houses did not go down. No excuse as Egyptian to get population blocked in the classical age. You should be building those houses up straight away, get them all up there free, but unfortunately Zodiac does miss that one right there. Toxotes now moving in. Well, not moving in, going to be able to pick off one of those spearmen for free, which is going to allow a slinger to replace him there. So we'll see what happens there, but it looks like TSM player almost in that next stage. Could just cancel some of these, needs to get up another house, but yeah, if he cancelled all of these units here, he could advance, but does not have an armory yet. Still no armory. Not sure I understand what's going on here. We are having that 3rd town center finally coming up for Zodiac, so Zodiac making some interesting decisions here. Probably could have grabbed that 3rd town center as soon as he saw TSM player grab his 3rd town center. It would have been a little bit delayed, but he still would have been able to defend and would have been fine. But he chose. I'm confused, but that's fine. We are seeing the fights still trying to engage here from TSM player, but I feel like he can just chill and wait until he's got that tech advantage, because he's got the economic advantage. So you have to sit on that and wait and get the economy to transition into tech and more units. And you don't really want to fight someone who's been building this many units. We are going to pick off a pharaoh there and then retreat, which is going to be really, really nice. There's no other gold mines here for TSM player to actually fall back on. However, he does have some medium hippocon up here, which can be used to surround this location here and make it really difficult for Zodiac to fight. And he is actually going to be using these hippocon to pick off reinforcements here and potentially fight this location and fight here as well, which is something that TSM player does really, really well. We are seeing that the raid onto these villages is going to be huge. TSM player going through Apollo though, you're not going to have any gold in the bank, which is really, really bad. And potentially Zodiac can actually take this game here. We don't still have access to ceasefire, and there is no real threat of ancestors looming here. There's 2,600 gold in the bank, and those Hippocon are trying to find something. We do see Apollo not Apollo, not Hippo, Apollo coming through, and it does look like TSM player is looking for some sort of Apollo play there with the underworld trying to attack some gold miners or something, but the gold miners sitting right under this location here, going to be totally fine. And we are seeing Zodiac running up here, finding this gold mine is going to be really, really big. Zodiac's going to find this gold mine, pick off these villages. There's going to be villages moving over to this location, this location. It does look like a market is going to go up straight away for TSM player. This is going to be big. All of these villages should be feeling the pain here, but it looks like TSM player is already over here, so it's going to be the villages falling and then the army fighting. And we do have the Manacle here, which can get picked off really, really fast. Oh, unfortunate pathing there from Zodiac. Going to be running into this stable. This is huge right now. He's going to pick off every single one of these units, and he's not even fighting back. This is awful. And it looks like the Spearman is going to try and pick up this stable, and he is going to be able to pick that one off, but at what cost? Looks like he's not even going to be able to pick that one off. All of these units going to be falling there. TSM player coming out huge there with that play with those villages, and unfortunately the pathing of the army there bites a Zodiac in the bum there. It's going to be really, really bad. And now if we check out the population, 109 population to 144 population, TSM player is super far ahead. Now he can go for some sort of Apollo play. He can go for the next age. He can do anything he wants. He's got donkey caravans coming out. He's got units coming out of everywhere here. Archery ranges auto-queued. And I don't know what that is, but let's get rid of that. Clicking things randomly. We're going to be moving in now. TSM player going to put on the heat, trying to get to that next stage. I would expect to see Hera coming through from him in order to really bust this up, but he is going through Hephaestus instead. Not going to be abusing that lightning storm when you're so far ahead on the military. Getting even far ahead on the military can be an easy way to finish the game, but Hephaestus is a safe way because Zodiac does not have access to Osiris there, and a TSM player knows he's in a really, really strong spot, and he can potentially just go for the gold staff here. He's pushed off gold here, and he can simply just walk through, fight this location here, and that's going to force Zodiac even further off. We have a storehouse wanting to get built over here just to have the line of sight, and then you can have a Apollo from here over to here. We do see Nephthys has come through, but Nephthys versus Hephaestus is going to be really, really difficult. TSM player going to be advancing those heavy Hippocon and heavy archers really soon as well, and it does look like we're bouncing around here, but Zodiac's probably going to be sitting on, yeah, he's got so many resources in the bank. This is a big thing that I've noticed from the difference between like an 1800 level set and like a 1900 level set is not enough buildings. We see we only have the buildings you initially built, 3 barracks, and generally speaking that's fine, but if you lose a big fight, you can't replenish your army fast enough, and then you can just sit here and pick them off for a really low HP. Going to be a nice micro here, grabbing that Manticore back, but not focus firing the Pharaoh is a big mistake. When you start pulling the Pharaoh back, you need to grab those Toxotes and pick off the Pharaoh as fast as you possibly can, but we do have Mercenary pumping out, and Hephaestus coming through, going to cast that Plenty Vault in this location right here. I managed to somehow predict where that was, but we've got the Pharaoh trying to get focused down, and he does get garrisoned into that town center, and it does look like this army here is going to be a little bit difficult for Zodiac to, for TSM player to keep holding on to, and we do see that the Manticore does get picked off there. The Toxotes not fast enough to pick off that Pharaoh, and we are seeing more and more things coming out here. Fortress now coming down for TSM player, and Antas is maybe able to give a Zodiac a little bit of breathing room here, but at this point it looks like his economy is destroyed, but he still has 4,500 wood in the bank, just no gold, so he can chuck down a market, start trading, and potentially get an army together in order to defend. But once we start seeing barracks, see Colossus come through, see Myrmidon, really is difficult for a set player to defend against that. But for some reason, player not sitting at that 160 of 160 population, probably because he doesn't have that many military buildings. Yeah. Generally speaking, when you have 3 town centers and you have 3 town centers worth of villages, you want to have around about 4 or 5 military buildings per town center so that you can replenish really, really quickly. But maybe that's overkill, maybe 10 military buildings, so 3 military buildings per town center. But Zodiac decides to tap out. GG when he has that Colossus on here, all these Hippocon running in, 149 population to 100 population. That was super well played there by TSM player. It was super even, and until Zodiac got brutalized by that choke point here, or the pathing, I should say. Instead of running around this tree this way, he runs around this tree, gets choked up by the stable placement with 5 had villagers building it, so his army couldn't take it down fast enough to get out. And that's just going to be way too good there for player. Taking this series 2-0, super well played there. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to see my videos as soon as they come out, my name is Boit, and I will see you guys next time.